Hello again and welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. Paul Schrimpf, and I'm joined by a special guest this week, Richard Jones. He's from what we call the Hort side of the building. We actually split the building in two. We're not allowed to pass by the wall at all. So I rarely, not true, but sometimes it can feel that way because we're very busy.
That's right.
You guys have been busy with everything that you've been doing. So
Right.
welcome to you, sir.
Thank you. It's very exciting to be here. Thanks.
Great, excellent. Exciting is not a word that's used very often in this particular venue, but. So, speaking of exciting, it's been at least exciting or interesting, or in the horrible sense of the word exciting. We had this terrible spring in the Midwest, and the main folks that we deal with, and it certainly set everything back. But I know we're not alone in that. I know you've had similar issues with your grower contingent on your side of the house.
Right. It certainly was a very impactful spring for everybody with all the rain and the cool temperatures. The horticulture crops got off to a late start as well, so that's been a season of playing catch up there, and we're really interested to see how things are going to play out there because it's that rain didn't just impact row crops, which is where we heard so much of it.
Yeah, and of course, then we've got the artificial issue of the tariffs that are impacting us immediately and into the future. Hopefully, we'll get something worked out with China soon, but if we don't, we're looking at something similar, especially on soybeans, and not so much on corn right now, but soybeans are certainly severely affected, and we've seen the impact of that. Can you project a little bit as to what you'll see, should this continue for some of your markets?
Definitely a lot of uncertainty, a lot of people nervous about how this is going to play out, and as we know, things could change at any moment. Maybe by the time this video comes out, things will be different, but there's potentially a lot of impact. I mean, I think we look at Asia has traditionally been a really growing market for apples, for example, and I know another really good crop of apples this year in the Pacific Northwest, for example, and if those markets tend to be shut out, those apples are going to have to go somewhere, and so a lot of times those are going to go to other areas of the U.S. So we might see more Washington apples in say Michigan or New York or Ohio, where there's a lot of growers who are growing their own apples, and we're really concerned about what we might see happen to the markets there too.
Sure. Well, yeah, there's enough short-term pain to go around. Unfortunately, folks are going to be dealing with that for a while, but trying to think about things more optimistically. I know we have a conference that we're working on later in January that looks more at precision ag, called Precision Ag Vision Conference. It's just kind of broader technology effect on kind of at a higher level of the marketplace. But when you get down right to it, growers are going to have to figure out how to sustain themselves long term, what kinds of technologies they're adopting, how they're going to get past this. Once we get past these short-term pains, the folks that are still fighting the good fight are looking to technologies to help them out. So there's an event that now in the second year you're working on called
Right.
Growing Innovations, and that's one of the reasons I brought you on here to talk a little bit about what you got going for year two for
Sure.
Growing Innovations.
No, we're really excited about the program and the event overall that's coming together for Growing Innovations. I look at Growing Innovations and Precision Vision Conference kind of being complementary in a lot of ways, where that event is looking out where we headed, what the technologies are coming down the road, what do we need to do to get ready for that. Growing Innovations is a little more what's happening right now, what developments are happening with crop management, labor management, water management, post-harvest management, total farm management, that we're seeing growers across the country, particularly in the specialty crops area, the horticulture, the high-value crops. What are they doing to adapt to some of the challenges that they face every day? And that's really what this program's all about. We've really kind of vetted all the exhibitors and all the products that are going to be featured on the expo to things that really solve grower problems. The entire conference program has been vetted the same way. We're really looking to bring in growers to tell their stories about things that they're doing, really innovative approaches to problems that everyone has. And hopefully that will encourage growers to come in because they're going to hear from their peers, this is something I could do, or this might give me a little different way to think about things that might encourage me to try something different.
Terrific. So is there anything in particular that has you excited about the program and what folks attendees are going to see, or what growers are telling you they're excited about coming to see at the show?
I think one of the cool things that we saw last year, and then I think it's one of the unique benefits of this show, is we're bringing in growers of all specialty crops. So it's not just a greenhouse grower conference or a fruit grower conference or a vegetable grower program. We're bringing in people of all different crop segments, and they have ability to learn from each other. So there might be a solution that you might not have even considered that might make sense. We've got one grower down in Florida where, as everybody knows, they've been hit so hard by citrus screening over the years. They found a really unique approach to try to exclude the pests. They're growing citrus undercover in greenhouses, entire large acreage blocks of citrus in screen greenhouses. So it's ideas like that you wouldn't think of necessarily that would make a lot of sense. New uses for drone technology, drones being used for pollination services or distributing beneficial insects in the field. We're going to be talking about kind of where we stand with robotics and autonomous equipment, artificial intelligence in the greenhouse. It's not a tech show, it's an innovation show. Technology obviously plays a large part in that, but it's really the innovative ideas that people are bringing out there to help growers solve their problems. That's the biggest bit.
Yeah, and that's what really, the Vision Conference was along those same lines too. As a media company, we kind of see Eg's perspective. We see the perspective of our growers. A lot of the conferences have been kind of like moonshots and what's the big new idea that might come along in 5-10 years down the road. This is stuff that's working today.
Right? Exactly. We're not looking at 5 years down the road that may help you. These are things that we're actually seeing growers put to use.
Terrific. Well, it's really exciting. So the conference, you can give me the dates and the location?
November 13th and 14th, 2019 in Las Vegas at the Las Vegas Convention Center. Growing Innovations, we'll see everybody there.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us, Richard. Appreciate your time today.
Thanks, Paul.
And that's it for Retail Week for this week, and we'll see you again soon. If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.